Give me a job. Give me a job. I promise that I'm qualified, so please don't be a snob. Give me a job. Give me a job. If you don't give me a job, I'm going to scream.
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Give Me a Job. I'm Judy.
And I am Harper. And as always, we're here to talk about design, tech, diversity, the entry-level experience, and whatever we've been thinking about that's related to those things.
How are you
So,
today,
Judy,
Harper? I'm first.
You're first. I'm doing well. It's sunny and not terribly cold. There's a sleeping kitten on my desk and talking to you. So I'm having a great day. How are you doing, Judy?
I'm really good. Thank you for asking. Today is the last day of lockdown in London. So I just hope everyone stay safe, please. Take care of yourself and your family. Wear mask. We're still having pandemic. It's not over. So yeah.
Yes. Don't go to bars. Don't go to restaurants.
Yeah. Try to take care of yourself.
Tip well. Tip really well.
Yeah.
And wear your mask. Stay home.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about burnout, exhaustion, the importance of taking care of ourselves, to share our resource for self-care. Wow.
Those are great things. We've talked about a lot. And so we wanted to share snippets of our many conversations with you guys, since these are things that everyone deals with.
Yeah. So let's start with you, Harper. I know you have tons of stories, great stories about that topic. Would you share some with us, please?
Yeah. So just focusing on this year alone, I know anyone who has existed has experienced burnout at many different points in their lives, but to focus on 2020, job searching has been a big source of burnout for me. It's really easy to dive wholeheartedly headfirst into that, and it's also takes so much energy, and it's one of the things I've been trying to figure out how to do is how to not burn myself out applying to jobs so that I have energy when I do eventually get one.
Yeah.
And so that's been a big thing for me, of just trying to balance putting myself out there and then also taking care of myself. And something I know that is a shared source of burnout and exhaustion and stress for many people is not being able to see my friends or my family. I have no idea when I'll see my family again. And that's really hard. And I call it the never gonnas, when I get really stressed out and super peak burnout. I'm never going to see my family again. The pandemic's never going to be over. I'm never going to get to go visit Judy. I'm never going to hug anyone other than my husband again. And it's just it's exhausting, and it's so much to feel all the time, especially if you're like me and you feel everything at 1,000% all the time. And yeah, just life in this pandemic is exhausting, and this whole year has been so much. And I think I can speak for many people when I say that I just feel burned out all the time.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. What about you, Judy?
Hey, the story of my life. I hope my voice was good, so I will continue singing for you guys, but it's really not good. Anyway, so 2020, it's really a year crazy. I think most of us experience really negative out of 2020. So for me, at the beginning of 2020, I have applied over, I think, 300 plus job applications. And I was like, why I'm not getting hired? I couldn't understand the reason why. And I was so upset, so mad of myself, so mad of what I need to work on. I just couldn't understand why I'm not getting hired. But then I decided that, you know what, maybe I'm missing something. Let me improve myself more. So I decided to take front end So front end, it's completely different story. It's way too much. Like it's really way too much. Like I couldn't speak to anyone literally other than like figure out how to read this code. Like I couldn't understand it. Like it's too much, honestly. So I have took HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and when I start to take React Advanced, here my mind couldn't understand anything. Like I was literally like, what you guys are talking about, like completely different language. I was so pushing myself
Mm-hmm.
when
I know I didn't hear from you for months.
yeah. I was like, my mom, she couldn't talk to me. My brothers, like everyone, like, what's happening to you? No one talked to me. I'm busy. I need to figure out this, you know? So, but I was keeping pushing myself too much. And that honestly, like, didn't help me. So I realized that I need to take some time away from school. I was studying already over a year, over 9 hours a day, roughly 14 hours a day. So it was way too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided that I need to take time just like for myself now. So yeah, that what I did.
Yeah. And that's really honorable. I know we've talked about this a lot, that as a culture, at least American culture, doesn't really value taking time off or time for yourself. And it's like seen as a badge of honor if you don't ever miss a day. Like start at very young. We reward kids in primary school for like, they never missed a day. And it's like, that's a horrible thing to reward. We should reward like they took time off.
Yeah.
They let themselves reset. They like didn't come to school when they were sick.
Yeah.
That's something that should be rewarded. And I hope that changes post pandemic, that we maybe like give people more space to not be in public when they're sick and to take time off.
It's really
Um,
important.
yeah. And on the note of learning how to code, nothing has made me feel more stupid than trying to learn CSS and JavaScript, just the beginning of it. And I need to go back and relearn it all, because it's interesting and I feel so proud of myself when I make something work. But boy, do I feel dumb. It's so hard and doesn't make any sense. And
Need time and
I feel like an
practice.
idiot. Yeah.
No, you're not. You just need time and practice. It's completely different language, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you're learning. So I'm really proud of that.
Well, thanks. I'm proud of you for taking the leap and trying to learn front end code. And
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, on the note of like, just to expand on like not learning how to code and going to school and not talking to friends or family and not seeing people, like just a quick, I guess, to just address quickly that for us, like we were in school prior to 2020, and we landed a school is where we both went, and it's an intensive program, and that's like not a joke that it's intense, because you're in school for 9+ hours a day, 5 days a week. And so for us, like quarantine and lockdown really started in 2019. And the only difference now is that we don't see our friends on the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only difference. But on the note of like quarantine, lockdown, all of that, like we want to acknowledge that while this year has been really hard for many, if not most of us, that there is something beautiful maybe in the shared experience of, even though like I know I personally feel very lonely a lot, and have really struggled with that this year, we're all dealing with that. And so I guess in some way, like we're not alone in our loneliness.
Yeah.
And so we are all in this together. And I
True.
hope that we can grow in a positive direction from this dumpster fire of a year.
I really agree. You know what, Harper, you just mentioned something. I want to highlight that very quickly, especially like for junior. So whoever listening to us, guys, junior people are spending roughly 14 hours a day. Well, roughly. So they're investing in their self like really hard. So please give them a chance because they work really hard in themselves. Like they try to grow as a person and as like knowledge. So just
Mhm.
give them a chance. It's really important for them. So just like
Yes.
they don't get the feeling that all this time, all these hours, it's gone for nothing. This is
Mhm.
also like it's very important. I just want to highlight that very quickly. But Harbor, with all the burnout, how do you take care of yourself?
Uh, Sometimes more successfully than others.
Fair.
Some days are better than others, but that's life.
Mm.
I do not as much yoga as I would like. I've practiced yoga for a little over 20 years at this point, and
Oh,
which is wild when I think about that.
wow.
And that is super beneficial for me. I think yoga is great for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're not flexible or you can't touch your toes. Just the act of moving and breathing is really beneficial and wonderful, and it's a lot of fun. There are a ton of resources on YouTube and other places, so I'll drop some links to my favorite YouTube yoga stuff in our description. And I take walks, not as often as I would like, but my neighborhood backs up to a park, and uh, there's this lovely little desire path or desire trail through the woods that's between our house and the park, which is uh, I could go on and on about desire paths because I think they're really cool, but it's basically when there wasn't a path and people were like, I want to get from here to there. And so they just started walking in that direction. And then eventually a path is formed. And it's like this really cool phenomenon. You see it all over the place. Uh, but that's like everyday UX design stuff, real life things. But so I go for walks around the little park behind my neighborhood, and getting enough sleep is really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to go to bed when it feels like there's no reason to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And not in like a super dark way, just in a like, oh, I can get up whenever I want because why not? And so I think going to bed at a reasonable time and getting enough sleep, drinking enough water is really important.
Very.
And taking a day off or several is so important. Like
Yeah.
last week, for example, I was like, all right, it's holiday weekend or holiday week. I'm on it. Like I'm ready to feel like I have purpose again, because for better or for worse, my like purpose and self-worth in life is very much attached to my career. That's a whole other topic that we can get into another time. Uh, and and so I applied to 6 jobs on Monday, and I applied to 8 jobs on Tuesday, and I wrote custom cover letters for all of them.
Wow.
And then Wednesday came around and I was like, all right, let's do this. And I was so tired and I burned myself out so fast that I ended up just spending the rest of the week on the couch with my cats binge watching The Crown, um, which is, it doesn't feel productive, but is also for my like mental health and physical health
You need
and like
it.
well-being. Yeah, it is productive in a different
Mm.
way. And
Yeah.
so culturally, I would love to talk about how do we reframe productivity in a way that is healthy and sustainable.
Yeah.
But that's enough about me. Judy, what do you do to take care of yourself? I love your answer to this question, by the way, and I'm very excited for you to share it with everyone.
So this year it's really tough, right? And like we don't have in-person meeting or social, so we feel like lonely most of the time. But what I love the most that I talk to you every day, pretty much every day, like just like sharing with you all the updates, that something is very important. We need to make sure that we are talking to our friends, sharing with them, like, our success and our frustration. That's fine, and for them the same.
Mhm.
I'm
I
morning
love talking
person.
to you every day too,
Thank
for the
you.
record.
Thank you. So I'm very morning person. So before I start my work, I like to take a walk, just
Mhm.
like, take all the oxygen as much as possible, absorb what's like around me, just like watching people. I think that's helped me, because that's gonna be taking me away from my work and let me focus about something more beautiful,
Mhm.
Also, I'm trying to read more. I want to improve my English, logic. So bear with me. Hopefully, one day I can speak like just perfect English.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lastly, I love eating cake.
This is my favorite answer.
Thank you for that. Okay, so I don't know if anyone follow me on Instagram. I kind of share cake pretty much every day. I love cake,
It's true.
and
Can confirm.
yeah, it's so delicious. Like a few days ago, I went to get cake. When I ate it, I was like, I'm in heaven. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. So people try, I mean, being healthy, it's amazing thing, but cake also so delicious. So trying to make some balance. But
Yeah,
yeah.
everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I know we were talking the other day. I was eating lunch while we were talking, and I realized, like, I don't remember the last time I ate a vegetable. Like, this is a problem. And so I think, just eating green beans and kale
Yeah.
we were talking.
Yeah.
So balance, moderation, balance is key.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm personally more of a pie person, but I love that you love cake.
Well, I have to say something.
Okay.
From my experience, cake in UK way, way, way better than US. Way better
Why is
in my
that?
experience. So I don't know why. Also, like the food here in general, like it's so good. I think cake in the United States, it's way too sweet. Way too sweet.
Yes, it's a
Here, no.
sugar bomb in
Yeah,
your mouth.
literally. And like, I don't think I ate that much cake in the United States, but here, like I've been in UK 6 months. I'm not joking. Every day I have to eat cake. Every day. Literally, like I don't have any day off. It's just so good. It's so delicious, and it's not too sweet. That's the most important.
Mm.
And I feel like it's all organic, fresh. Anyway, stop talking about cake. I need one.
That'll be another episode.
Yeah.
Judy will share all of her favorite cake.
Yes. If you guys need any, like, recommendation, please let me know. Cake here, it's fabulous.
Good to know. Yeah, I like your note on, or your comment on walking and paying attention to your surroundings. It kind of ties into what we talked about when we were talking about awareness, and how, like, that particular episode we were talking about external awareness, and today we're kind of talking about internal awareness and focusing on yourself. And it's all related, right? We're talking about taking care of yourself and taking walks and taking a break. And I think that also extends to taking a break from your phone, from your screen. It's so easy to just end up scrolling for hours. And like, I actually remember reading an article or listening to a podcast about the guy who invented the, like, endless scroll. It was a feature he did for Reddit, I believe. And he just thought it was cool because he could then, like, not have to click pages, but it ended up, if I remember correctly, he really regrets it, because if you have to click next page, you have a concept of, like, how much time you've been spending on. You're like, oh gosh, I'm 300 pages in. That's time to take a break. But if it's an endless scroll, there is no marker for how long you've been doing something, and so it, like, that's a very big UX issue, right? Like you don't have this demarcation of time. And so suddenly you're like, oh, it's 3 hours later. Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah, put your phone down, take a break from everything,
Yeah.
life. But that's something I really loved when I lived in DC proper, was taking walks in the morning. I loved like early Sunday morning walks throughout the city because no one is around, and it's so quiet, and you just see older couples walking hand in hand, and you see people walking their dogs in their pajamas, and it's so peaceful and wonderful. And so I think like taking a walk and putting your phone down and just listening to your surroundings and looking around, it's amazing what you can see. And it's one of my favorite things to do, and something I very dearly miss about living in the city was getting to experience like looking at architecture and people's little gardens and everything. So yeah, put your phone down, take a walk if that's your jam. If not, don't. Like, do what feels right for you, which is a great segue into our homework that we do for, I don't know if any of you actually do it, because let us know. If not, it's okay. It's optional homework. Let us know what you are doing to take care of yourself. We would love to hear how this year has affected you, and how you're taking care of yourself, and if anyone else struggles with detaching their self-worth from their career. I know I really struggle with that, and this year has been challenging, and searching for a job is exhausting, like we were saying, and it's been the most like exhausting, humbling, ego crushing experience of my life. And I know that it feels really big right now, but probably in like 3 years or a year, I'll look back and it won't feel that big. So trying to keep that in perspective of like, this is the infinite game, right? Instead of like, we're not playing to win, we're just playing to keep playing. And that could be a whole other episode. So I'm done with my little tangent. We would love to hear how you're taking care of yourself. And if you want to Zoom with us because you are also feeling lonely or struggling, let us know. We love meeting new people and just, chatting and learning new things and building our networks, because that's a thing you have to do now, and making new friends. We're going to call it making new friends, because I think building your network is yucky. And yeah, let us know. Judy, if people want to get in touch with us, where can they find us?
Well, before that, if you guys have any feedback, recommendation, please let us know. We would love to know your opinion. We would love to know your feedback, so we can improve ourselves and our podcast. But if you guys would like to reach us out, we are everywhere, pretty much. We are on Twitter, we are in YouTube, podcast, Spotify, and iTunes podcast. And also we are in Twitter. So if you guys would like to find us, you'll be able to type podcast, Give Me a Job podcast from Twitter.
It's
help me out.
Okay, we're on Twitter at
By the way,
Give
her
Me a
look
Job.
was okay. If you're listening, you need to watch her look. It was amazing.
I have no control over my face. It's a problem.
You're the person who keeps saying this. You put me on the spot, so.
Okay, I will take over. We are we're on Twitter at Give Me a Job Cast. We are on Instagram at Give Me a Job Podcast. We are not on Facebook because
she hates
just
Facebook.
because I hate Facebook. I don't ever check it. We are on Instagram at Give Me a Job Podcast. I may have said that already. And you can email us directly at givemeajobpodcast@gmail.com. Judy, if you, or people, listeners, friends, folks, If you want to talk to Judy directly, Judy, how can they get in touch with you?
You guys can find me like social media. I'm Judy Gasham, or you can email me judygh92@gmail.com. How about you, Harper?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at, I think it's just Harper Atlas. So yeah, I'm just Harper Atlas. And you can shoot me an email at hello@harperatlas.com. And yeah, get in touch, hang out. We'd love to chat, make new friends, not network, make
Yes.
new friends. I mean, it is networking, but and as always, special thanks to McKinley and Asher at our friend. Wow, that was a struggle. 2020, my dudes. You can find our friends, McKinley and Asher, MLEMON Band. They wrote our amazing theme song, and you can find them on Bandcamp. You can download their stuff for free, or you can pay them for it because they also need jobs to pay their rent and feed themselves and like have pets and not be homeless. And they are on Instagram at MLEMON Forever. Follow them for music, cat, general shenanigan content. They're wonderful. And yeah, give them a listen. They're on Spotify, Bandcamp, everywhere. Today's a struggle, apparently. But thanks for for struggling with us on this 5th episode of Give Me a Job. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Peace, guys. See you.